Hello and welcome back to the finishing line. I'm Andrew Halligan, your host, and as always, I'm joined by Dave and Tom, which is we'll get on to that in a few minutes. But
hey, look, you got bricks, so I got bricks. Did I pay for my bricks?
Wow.
No.
Did you pay for somebody to put up your bricks?
You've been banging on about this green screen for 2 weeks, and it's not at all what I expected it to be.
I was expecting this to be absolutely top drawer stuff now.
I need to fix it. It's currently got poles sticking out the sides of it because it wasn't long enough with pegs on. It's up on a chest of drawers because the stand isn't high enough. It's absolute disaster.
Giving away the illusion that it's not actually a brick wall.
Who would have guessed, Emmet?
If that looks, it's like you're standing outside your front door with a desk set up with lights hitting you.
It's when you go behind it and you just disappear. It's like fucking something from Harry Potter.
This took Tom, good 20 minutes to get up, and there was a stage where he took it down and went over his head, and it was like a scene there. It was like, you're a wizard, Harry.
Literally disappeared.
But anyway, we're joined by a friend of the show and a man that put up with us at Cheltenham preview, Emmet Kennedy.
Hello. Good to see the three of you again. It's a shame that it's not actually in person, but sure, we'll deal with it.
How's everything, Kilkenny?
I was out in it earlier on, as in the city. It was still standing, so that's a good sign.
Must be awful quiet when All-Ireland final weekend. You're not in it. It's awful quiet.
Oh, jeez, here we go. Yeah. All-Ireland final weekend. Well, it wouldn't have worked anyway because of the bloody lockdowns. So, where would we... What are we all going to go to some fancy Italian restaurant for a bite to eat and to celebrate? I don't think so. So no, just
Waterford's going to be bedlam on Sunday. Honest to God, no lockdown is going to stop.
Well, half of Waterford is going to be quarantining over Christmas because
what's going to happen is there's going to be, because they spread from everywhere. So obviously, because the day share based all over the country, to be fair, all of Kilkenny are based all over the entire country of Ireland. Then you're going to bring down a lockdown. So thanks very much, lads. Well done.
No hassle.
Genuinely, people down here don't care. It's like COVID don't exist this weekend. It's all Ireland, and we're never in it. So
it's not even this weekend.
We don't care.
Did you see Town last weekend?
Yeah, I was mad.
Anyway,
I couldn't even get into the bank yesterday.
Good job, government. Good job.
Yeah, lock us down and then open us 3 weeks before Christmas. Where
I'm talking about in general. Just good job with the whole thing. They haven't messed it up. I don't know what the protocols are for. I've forgotten what I was told beforehand, whether I can drop an F-bomb or not. But
just drop what you want.
Yeah, good fucking job, everybody. Yeah, brilliant. Remember when we used to be able to laugh at Boris Johnson in the crowd and be able to go, they're making the right balls of it over there. And now we're the exact same. It's a joke. A joke, I tell you. And
we're
that's
going
not
backward.
even talking about the fact that the Days are in the All-Ireland final. But I'll actually cheer you on, strangely enough. I'll actually cheer on Waterford.
You know what? I think majority of people will.
We deserve it. After all these years.
How
many years? How many years, Dave?
I said the hurt we've been through for so many years, we do deserve to win it, but whether we will or not.
I love my county. And just for that alone, it just deserves to be.
Absolutely.
Milan just be hopping and skipping onto the pitch before they think it's all over.
I just want
Milan scores a goal. It is now.
John Milan riding down the quay naked on a horse.
He did say if we won the All-Ireland, he'd ride down the quay naked on a horse.
I just want to see that for the crack.
Oh, now I'm not so sure, actually. Anyway.
That'll get more people down than the bloody homecoming parade.
You know what? I probably would.
You're not having a homecoming parade, by the way. I hate to break it to you, but that ain't happening.
An official one. Did you hear what they do with the trophies?
An official one.
Emmet, there won't be an official one, but there will be a homecoming parade.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There will be these magical barriers come up on the bridge coming into Waterford, and no one will be allowed in or out We just quarantine for 2 months on our own. No one's allowed in or out of Waterford, and we just go absolutely mental for 2 weeks.
We found an excuse every single year to go drinking and go mad, even when we weren't even in the All Ireland anymore. So
It's true.
Sunday's going to be wild down here.
Knocked out at the. By the way, how weird is it for the All Ireland final to be played on like
In the middle of
December, a couple
December.
of weeks from Christmas?
It's very strange.
Who cares? We're in
Yeah,
this.
We'll take it. Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing.
It's going to be
really
it's going to be
strange.
weird with no crowd there.
I know Tom's after saying it a couple of times. The way the year has gone, Liverpool won the league. Like Tipperary, Cavan, it's bound to happen.
One thing never changed though. United are still United.
Ah,
Shit.
Useless.
Jesus Christ.
They are so bad. Andrew, I text you. I turned it on for like 5 minutes last night, and I turned it off. Harry Maguire dribbled the ball out from his box, took about 7 touches, stopped, turned to his side, and passed it. It was woeful.
It was like somebody was using a PlayStation controller to control it.
Yes.
Oh, he's like one of. Do you not remember back in the day? You used to get these.
He's off.
These remote control robots that used to walk for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
And it just goes.
It just goes like this.
Yeah.
And
You can't
he
do it.
and he assaulted police officers. How are police officers serving members of the police assaulted allegedly by him?
He must have tripped over or something.
I
He
used
must
to.
have.
I used to go up to Andrew's house to watch the Man United matches. I basically text him now to tell me when it's over, and then I go up to his house.
No, he just got a secret girlfriend and doesn't want to tell us about it.
No, that's not true.
Bit of both. Bit of both.
No, that part isn't true.
It's
Either
not.
way, your mental health is better off without watching that crap anyway.
Correct.
Yeah, I've gone downhill with watching that shit. Anyway, we get talking about horse race.
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about racing?
I thought are we really? It's just like being at the pub again in March. Right.
This is like the Cheltenham preview all over again.
With
Yeah.
less F-bombs and less jockeys going like this, what did they just say?
What was that? Chalskar? Oh yeah, he's a prat. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing.
What horse is on drugs?
Oh, don't.
Oh yeah,
don't go there.
definitely.
Don't go there.
The
Definitely.
just goes, oh shit.
We had to edit one of our podcasts a couple of weeks ago, Emmet. Well, Andrew had to edit it because we decided we'd gone too far.
No. You went too far.
Twice.
How far had you gone?
Oh,
Horses,
shut
horses
Oh,
on drugs. Horses on drugs and where Primark get their clothes from.
down.
And we just went,
Yeah.
No,
a bit
don't.
too far
No,
with that.
no, not we.
Not
Tom,
we. Tom Rain. Not
I
we.
don't fancy taking on Primark.
Yeah. No one wants to mess with pennies.
No.
Trainers in Ireland, mess with them all day long, but pennies, no, you're not going to mess with them.
They got big lawyers.
Lads, this is how screwed up this COVID is, right? My sister, who goes to Ascot twice a year, has just, and no interest in racing, has just texted me, "You're going to be jealous next Saturday. I've got tickets to Ascot. We have a runner on Monday, and we can't go."
Yeah, because it's Ireland.
Say that to me.
Yeah.
Because it's
Emmett-
Ireland.
Emmett
So
literally
why
just
should-
gave the
why should-
answer because it's Ireland.
Why should fans be allowed to go racing here? Why should there be a lottery system for fans to attend racing here? Why should owners be allowed to attend racing here? Because that'd be stupid. It'd be utterly stupid to do that. What's happened already this year? Jared Sullivan sent all of his horses over to the UK, and that was before any lockdown.
Yeah, I've had enough now, to be honest.
So, is there a way we can just literally go up to Nat Nace and just sneak in?
There's loads of ways.
Is the way to do it.
Can we do it?
There's a big long drive.
Yeah, I know a way you could do it.
Me
I
and
know
you
a way you can do it.
we can do
Oh,
that.
I know a way you could do it. I know what you're thinking, Emmett. That's a good idea, actually, I reckon.
We are from back.
So if you all just wear high-vis jackets with clipboards and you walk around important, no one will go near you. They'll just
I
go.
will-
Oh, yeah.
I'll
The,
be visiting
the
Andy
three
Halligan.
boyos.
Lads, what are you here for? Oh, COVID test.
We'll probably get away with it. now.
standing at the top.
One of you will, and just like think of it as a
They won't believe you.
game.
It's like sneaking into auction and that years ago. One person, like 5 of you go, and one person has a ticket. He goes in, then throws the ticket back over, and then he goes in and back and forth.
It works.
It actually did work.
It works.
That's highly illegal.
Telling you, throw the shoulders back. Act like you've got a bit of confidence. You'll be fine.
Walk in like you own the place. Someone says, "What are you doing here?" You go, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah. I always say if you tell a lie confidently enough, people will believe it.
Yeah, you're good looking.
Thanks.
See, it works.
I'm actually really hot, but it's because the fire has melted me.
Yeah. See, we installed a fire, Emma. See, we're going up in the world. Now we're back. Right, we get on to the racing. So we are going to preview the 2Js? I keep fucking up stuff. The 2 days of the Cheltenham, festival. December meeting. So we are going to start with the rescheduled Peterborough Chase that's on at 1:50 on the Friday. So the field is, we have Top Notch is currently favourite with Master Fisher, Kalashnikov, Clondalk Castle, Dallas, Finian Desterval, Glenforsa, and Bundoran. There's tricky enough race. Who wants to take this? Tom, Tom, you're taking this. You said you hated this race. It was a minefield. Avoid the mines. Tell us who's going to win.
You got rid of the 1240 out of this today. That I reckon
a yak race.
Not Benny's Bridge will win that, I reckon. Anyway, on to this.
I'm cool.
He had to say it, didn't he?
Yeah. Top notch wore a tongue tie in his last two starts and has come back now with having had a wind up. So, he's probably got the best chance, I imagine. He's won the Peterborough and then third in the Grade 2 Silvanaco Conti Chase. So he's a fair record when he's fresh, but he does seem to improve after his first run. For that reason, I'm going to take him on, and I'm going to stick with Mr. Fisher, who I think we spoke about that Paddy Power Gold Cup, and there's a few in that I'm willing to give another chance to. This lad is one of them. Saint Sonnet is coming up as well. He's another one. And Simply the Bets is the other lad. Shock, yeah. So yeah, look, I'm willing to give him that. I think he's in his run in the marsh is good. He wasn't beaten far in that. I think he's on a fair rating, and he's my selection anyway.
Mr. Fisher. Emmett, would he be one you would roll in with, or is there something? Well, hopefully something else better than that yak. Sorry, Tom.
I think Bundoran's the nap of the entire weekend.
Sorry, what?
Bundoran. Nap of the entire weekend.
Where's Jeremy Beale?
No. In more serious talk, I find it difficult to get away from Mr. Fisher, to be honest about it, because we talked about the bloody Cheltenham Festival for so many times on the Final Furlong podcast that I can't quite get him out of my head for the big meeting itself. He bombed at Cheltenham last time he was there, but he'd proven himself to be pretty useful prior to that, more than useful, and he's with Nicky, and he's had, well, what is his official time off now? So he's been pulled up for 27 days. So yeah, he'll have had just enough time to have recovered, to be in tip-top form. So I will echo Tom's Mr. Fisher selection. Although I will argue that it's hard not to go for good old Top Notch, but he does come on for a run.
Dave, on to you.
Clondalk Castle, Tom George's horse.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Don't elaborate, Dave. Whatever.
Don't elaborate.
I think he's progressing as an 8-year-old. The form of his race behind Nutswell is good, and he came out and won a good handicap at Newbury the last day.
Good analysis. So it's going to be 2v2. I'm on Claude Castle as well. I think he's one of the best bets of the weekend.
I knew he'd pick him.
Why?
I know by the way he won the last day.
The eye test.
Exactly.
The eye test.
Passed the eye test. As Dave said, he was second to Nutswell in the Old Lone Chase at Aintree, and then he went on and won a good Class 2 handicap around Newbury. Done it well, beat some decent horses. He was highly tried as a novice chaser. He bolted up before he ran in the Arkle. He finished a decent fourth in that, and ground probably too soft for him. But he's gone up and tripped 2 mile 4, and he's 3 from 5 since doing so. He seems to be a lot better horse this year, and I think he's going to take some beating today. I respect Top Notch. I take what Tom said, that he probably will come on from his first run. So I'll be willing to take him on. And Master Fisher, I can't get grasp. I just never ever took to him. I think he
leads you down a lot.
Yeah. He's like someone he's like a super sub you put on, think this fella's going to change, like Paul Pogba. That's what he's like. He has these little flashes of brilliance every now and then, but when you really want him to arrive,
he flatters to
he
deceive.
just does nothing.
Yeah.
He just pop away, and you think, oh, he's going to come and win the race.
I don't like Mr. Fisher at all.
No. So yeah, I'm Clonard Castle, whatever it's worth.
So Emmett, you'll see how this normally runs is they ask Tom for his selection, then it goes to the lads and they put up their selection, and after they've put up their selection, they slag Tom's selection, and then we repeat for each race.
Okay, all right, excellent. So if I happen to have the same selection as you in the next, just delete that selection and go for the second selection that I had.
Yeah, it's best to avoid it.
Your wall looks like it's falling down there, Tom.
Tom's wall.
It is.
It's going to come on me.
It is also going to be difficult for the lads to see the rest of the weekend, though, with egg all over their face, in fairness, once Mr. Fisher has gone in. Not entirely sure how you're going to see Waterford supposedly win the All-Ireland when there's egg all over your face.
Pint of Guinness over my head like this. I love me county, boy.
I love me county.
For any English people watching who haven't seen this, John Milan is the guy's name. John Milan, Waterford, I love me county, and you'll find it on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
It's priceless.
It's 100% on YouTube, yeah.
You'll fall in love with it.
Surrounded by about 5,000 people when he said it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back in the good old days, we could actually touch people.
And that wasn't even an All-Ireland game, so
it was a Munster.
No,
It
it wasn't.
It was a Munster game, so I'm telling you.
Moving on. On to the 225 and the grade 3 mile 2 handicap chase. We have a field of Courtmaid, who's making the trip over for Tom Mullins, Black Horton, Storm Control, West Approach, Porter's Corner, and so on. Emma, start with you. Pick the bones out of this. Do you think this Tom Mullins thing is... I think this thing is still well in. What do you think?
You mean the not quite National Hunt Chase winner at 2021? Courtmaid. Yeah. Tom and David will be in the winner's enclosure around about the time that, let's see, it'd probably be Bryony is debriefing Paul afterwards. So they'll be in the champagne tent celebrating and getting their Ryanair tickets back. Good thing.
For who?
Wins.
Who wins?
Courtmaid wins.
Oh. What? I thought he was on about Frodon.
No, Frodon's not.
No. We won't even have jumped the second.
Yes. Courtmaid wins. Tom. Surely.
Yeah, I'm with Courtmaid as well. She's been a different mare over fences. She's found out a little bit behind Pensacola led in her latest exhibition. But she's won her over free start. She bolted up the last day. As long as that doesn't come too soon, it was only 12 days ago. I think she should be fine here. Just looking at her mark, she's meant to be on 152 and be going up £12, but she gets in here with a £5 penalty. So
Sluice is in there.
Yeah, like if she's going to have a chance in a handicap, this looks like it's going to be it. She's off 148, presumably the 152 is her Irish mark, so she'd be even higher in England.
165.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she's the standout here, and she's one of the best bets for the weekend for me. It'd be nice to see David Mullins get a winner as well. He has never ridden a winner at Cheltenham. He's 0 out of 56. So
well, that's about to change.
He's also endured a torrid time. He was wearing a back brace there for not so long ago. So yeah, it'd be nice to see him back in full business.
You're definitely tipping up this.
100%. She's my nap at the weekend.
Dave.
I put her up a good few weeks ago. I just wanted to follow after I got you to watch her first chase that she won. She's a little bit quirky. He keeps her away from other horses. The form of her fourth is actually quite good because latest exhibition and the likes are in that race. I think she's pretty much a certainty, and I think they're running her here with a view to see how she acts at the track to then go for the National Hunt Chase.
That's the thing is a steering job. I'd win on it.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I would. It put me and you on top of it. She still win.
I definitely wouldn't go that far.
She's so well in. She's only gone up £5 for that last win, and she beat a decent field. She beat Brace Yourself by 13 lengths. Then it was back to Captain CJ, Forsam Land, Scoremar, Dead Duty. That's very, very good form. And she, as Dave said, she was 4th behind Pensful Lead and latest exhibition. She didn't jump a twig that day. She belted so many fences. I think they figured out, right, she needs to be way out, loads of daylight, leave her pop away, bring her into the race, off she goes. It'll be the same story here. I think Dave will go out the Paddy Benham route, out around the sides, on the good ground, away from everything, pop the fences, off she goes, up the hill, little wave of the whip, first winner at Cheltenham, off she goes.
She loved the hill.
It's as easy as that. Like, I can't, let's get the betting up here again. It boggles my mind how Black Horton is second favourite. On what? Like, it's been dirt the last 2 starts this season. It was 4th, beating a mile, then unseating when he was beaten. It's this Bryony Frost effect again. I just can't understand it whatsoever. Storm Control should be second favourite. He won last time out at Cheltenham. Step Up and Trip seemed to suit him again. He's gone up a bit again. He'll be all right. West Approach,
lunatic.
He could run in a selling handicap and still finish second.
Lunatic.
He just hates going past horses.
It's a bit like Santini.
Oh, what? Imagine owning that.
West Approach needs Paul Carberry. West Approach needs Paul Carberry to come back out of retirement.
It's just West Approach, or not West Approach, Santini. Like, again, like,
he's an idiot.
He's the most ungenuine yoke you'll ever come across.
He's an idiot horse.
He's a podcast favourite, that lad.
You imagine Robbie's throwing stuff at his screen now watching this.
Unsubscribing to these fuckers.
He's trained by Henderson. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Everyone's saying, he needs a truly run race. He needs this, he needs that. He's got it before and he still finished second.
I thought he needs a dig. I told you over the weekend.
He needs
a pair of blinkers.
He needs blinkers, visors, a cross noseband, a sheepskin noseband, cheek pieces, a hood, everything. Just on him. He's come out like one of them cavalry soldiers with all the gear on him. Then he might do something.
When he started turning his head to the side on Saturday, I was just like, he's the Jumps version of Mums Tipple. That Mums Tipple used to try and run backwards this year.
That's true.
Dave, do you remember we used to debate who was worse, Mums Tipple or Make Good?
Yeah, Make Good is definitely better than Mums Tipple.
Make Good is now better than Mums Tipple, I think.
Yeah. He's become a favourite of mine.
Yeah. He's the
worst.
worst horse in training to, I'm putting him up for the county.
You know what, Tom? See, I'm willing to give people and horses a second chance. You think I'm not, but I am. Maybe even a third chance.
Hence the reason why
you can do complete 360s anyway, Dave. We've seen that.
Yep.
That's why I'm still here.
You know what? I couldn't face giving out about him anymore, so I just may as well get on the bandwagon.
Well, anyway, back to the race. I think Court Maid will win, and I think Potter's Legend will finish second, coming up the hill after him. Her, should I say? Her?
Her.
Yes, sir.
Her.
It's definitely.
So we are all unanimous that Courtmaid is, as Emmet would say, the Dubai money.
See you in Dubai, 2024.
So true. Right, on to 3 o'clock and the cross-country chase. That's so hard to say it together.
Cross-country chase. Oh, we're gone again.
Oh, no, we're not. Hold up now. Sorry, my screen has just gone cuckoo here, but we're still recording. 2 seconds. Nope.
This happened last week.
This happened last week. I don't know what's going on. Where is it?
Can definitely still see and hear you.
Ah, there we go. We're back.
He only has 7 million tabs open.
I'm a busy man. All right.
Clearly.
I bet you what happened, Tom, was the screensaver came on. And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was actually Adobe looking to update stuff. That's the kind of lock wall.
Yeah.
Right, on to the cross-country chase. A bit of spice has gone out of this. Easy Lands and Potter's Corner have been taken out recently. Before we get Tom, surely you have some inkling what's after going on here. Is he all right?
I just looked at it and I said, I should have texted Jay, shouldn't I?
Just go, phone there, ring him there, and we get exclusive update.
I'll text him now and see how he is. And I'll see if he comes back to us before the end of the show.
He's so not texting.
He will. I will.
Right. So anyway, we have still a competitive enough field, and there's one I actually fancy at a big price. I won't say big price, but a big enough price. Never Rush a Con, who won last time out at Punchestown. Kingswell Teaser, who won at the November meeting, and we stepped back. Boda Burley, who was put up by Samantha, who was one of our horses to follow. Out Sam, the Forgotten One, My Hometown, Sumnick, and 25-1 Big of the Rest. Dave, we go to you this time. You love these kind of races. Yeah, you're surely after picking through something now, something huge.
I think they're fun to watch anyway.
They're unreal. My favorite race.
Never Rush a Con seems to be a bit revitalized by it, but I'd probably go with what Samantha put up, Boda Breeze. Give him a shot. I've no real strong opinion on it, so I prefer to back Boda Breeze at like 7-8-1 than Never Rush a Con at 94.
Emmet, who do you fancy in this?
I couldn't give a flying flamingo who wins this race. Easy's Land being out of it means that I've lost all interest in it, so I don't care.
So Tom, on to you.
I've actually got one for this, and I'm happy to go against Never Rush a Con. He wins around Punchestown, and he just gets the job done. He's had two runs around here, and they haven't been up to the same scratch as they were around the Banks course in Punchestown. So him at a short price, I'm keen to take him on. I had a little nibble last night at Kingswell Theatre, but my main bet is a horse called the Forgotten One.
The Forgotten One.
The Forgotten One. Who has moved to Richard Hobson's. He's had 2 runs in France. They were pretty good. He was beaten 8 lengths the first day behind So French, who was a 3-time Grade 1 winner in France. He's then gone and bolted up in a conditions chase at Compiègne. He's won over 2 miles 6.5, and his half brother. He's a half brother to the 2 Amigos, who was rated in the 140s and ran over crazy trips, 3 miles 6, that kind of job. Stamina doesn't look any issue to me. And if there's a horse in there that's well handicapped, I thought he was the one off 120. He's got a tongue tie on first time. Felix de Giles comes over from France for the ride. He's only a 6-year-old. You're racing here against horses who you know their limits. He's got 10 stone 1 on his back, and he's about 10-1. And yeah, he is very interesting for me. So
my view is, as Never Rush Con does at the Punchestown, as Tom said, doesn't do it at Cheltenham. Kingswell Teaser, very good around Cheltenham, around this course. Probably will get his way up front as well. But too skinny for me, 4-1. So we go down. And one that finished 3rd behind Never Rush a Con at Punchestown last time out.
Sumnick.
He second run for John McConnell. He ran
The great trainer of Make Good, John McConnell.
And Tom's doppelganger.
Tom's favourite horse trainer.
He finished 6 behind.
I shit you not. I had this on my list and I ripped it up and I went, nah.
Oh, things of certainty. So absolute certainty. He opened up 40-1 up Punchestown, and he was backed into 16s and then back out to 20s. He looked outpaced about 4 out, and then he ran on so strongly at the end. It was the first run over the Banks course. It looks like the plan is for him to become a cross country specialist. He took to the course very well. I expect, like you always expect horses to run first time around a cross country course to come on hugely for the experience. I think the price is massive. He's 20-25-1 in the place. I really liked how he ran on the last time. It was over 3 miles. He's stepping up to 3 miles 6. Let's not forget, he was a decent horse for Willie Mullins. He wasn't any mug. I think he has been rejuvenated by this. And Dave, he's grey.
Would you say John McConnell is just going over to have a look at Cheltenham for when Make Good runs in the Albert Bartlett, Tom? Or do you now, or have you now given up on Make Good, Tom?
Remember the days he used to be driving?
We haven't even got to that race yet. Like you're literally just trying to wind me up. Does Emmett know the story behind Make Good?
I'm not aware of the story.
That is an assassination on my character. I've never winded you up before ever, Tom.
I know
so you definitely have to.
Tom,
do you know? Go on, Tom. Tell him the story.
No, so Emmett, the story with Make Good is right. So I saw this horse run at Dundalk once. It stayed out on over 1.2 miles, finished 4th, hands and heels. And I said, oh, that horse looks well handicapped. It then ran twice over 7 furlongs before coming back to run over 1.5 miles. So Tom went, oh, I'll have a bit of this and put him up on the show. The horse was, he was pushed along after about half a furlong.
He was shy.
He was a yak back then, Tom. Yak.
He was shy. He's good now, though.
This was the laughing stock. So the 2 boys were there and they said, you thought you were really clever. Are you going to give up on him? Like he's useless. And I said, no, he'll win a race. So this kept going on anyway. And finally Make Good won a race. And after he won a race and the money was down, he's improved a lot. So,
but the real end to the story, Emmett, is the fact that on a Thursday and then a Friday, Tom's 2 favourite horses and the horses he put up more than any other horses in the whole entire horse world, Present Percy and Make Good. And he backed none of them.
What? No.
Yeah.
None of them.
None of them.
I got my money out of Make Good, and then I said, right, that's it. I'm done with him.
You just keep telling yourself that whenever you get to sleep,
I'm not buying that for a second.
Stick as a dog.
And guess who backed both of them after we slated them for a year?
The boys.
Us two.
The Buccos.
Yeah. 2 absolute chances to both of them.
Do you remember the time he used to be driving the Make Good bandwagon?
Yeah. He hates Make Good now. Just because I like him, you don't like him anymore.
I like him even more now.
It's true. I don't really like him anymore.
See?
Yeah.
The day he won and you didn't back him, that was the day I started liking him.
I remember I was in town getting something for Christmas for the lads, and I was watching on my phone. Second he won. No word from Tom. He didn't back us. He's definitely not the backing us.
He gave a large in the podcast group, though, saying how good Make Good was. I said, you didn't even have any money on him. You don't believe in him anymore.
All he needed was for me and Dave to pick him up, look him straight in the eyes, go, you can do this.
Same
you got this. And Percy, we don't know Percy as well.
Percy. See, Present Percy the last day. Gold Cup winner, Tom.
I don't know.
I'm joking.
What's in that cup?
You are 100% going to put him up. One of you is going to put Percy up for the Gold Cup. Guaranteed.
No, we're not stupid.
There's a window there now beside us. I jumped out of it before I even presented Percy up in the Gold Cup.
He'll have
anyway.
He'll have Cardiff or race now down Cheltenham.
Where are we going now?
I don't know. I can't remember. Where were we?
Saturday.
Saturday. We're on to Saturday.
Yeah, on to Saturday.
Remind people of the selections because, like, some Nick.
Boda Breeze.
The forgotten one is mine.
Don't care.
Some Nick.
Some Nick.
Right, on to Cheltenham. And Saturday, we're on to the 12:40. And I only really put this in because Chantry House is entered in it, and Nico de Bible seems to be is jacked up along with Fusel Raffles, the Mighty Don, Lieutenant Rocco, Keldastan, and the rest aren't jacked up, so we don't know. Emmet, what do we make of Chantry House? Is he the only one of the English challengers that can put it up to? Who's that?
Envoy Allen.
No, not Envoy Allen. Monkfish. Where the hell did I forget Monkfish?
I don't know.
Is he the only realistic challenger right now to Monkfish in the RSA?
No, because there tends to be one or two that emerge among the where the hell of my mouth words gone. There tend to be a few that emerge along the way that don't seem very very obvious at the time of at this time of year. So right now, I would say that Chantry House is the most blindingly obvious one. Look, he was long odds on favourite last time out under Nico and was entitled to do what he did, but the form at Shishkin is exceptional. The fact that he was so highly regarded and that Nicky didn't really want to send him there, and the only reason he did is because they had Sporting John, who I wouldn't give up on at all by any means. He's run at Cheltenham last season. This year, Jesus, is far too bad to be true. But Chantry House wins this, and there's not a huge amount of point in talking about it for too long. In terms of Fusel Raffles, who cares?
Chantry wins. Tom?
Unmute. Easy land is all good.
Okay.
I got a voice note. So Chantry House just wins this, doesn't he? He was exciting at Ascot. Look, he's only been beaten once on the track when he was third and supreme, and he's an exciting horse, really. Be interesting to see where they go with him, whether they want to take on Envoy Allen or whether they want to come back down and trip or what they do, right?
Dave, elaborate.
Chantry House. He should win it realistically. Like, he should win it easy enough. The same with like Emmet said about Fusel Raffles. I don't even know what he's done really to people, but I think everybody just hates him. I don't know why.
It's like Paul Pogba.
It's just
it's the bloody British media banging on about him so much and constantly asking Nicky and Nicky getting away with it that day that Epatante won. And Lydia asked him a very fair question: could she be a champion hurdler? Fusel Raffles. And then Fusel comes out and gets absolutely destroyed by Epatante. And Epatante goes and wins and justifies everything that Lydia had said.
And they wonder why we question everything Nicky Henderson says.
He's just a bogey horse. I don't like him. Chantry House isn't like
rubbish.
Yes, Chantry House wins. There's no point fucking staying on
this.
There's
not much elaborating on it, to be honest.
No. I don't think he's good enough to beat Monkfish anyway. Or Envoy Allen.
No.
Not a hope now.
No, God, no.
Wonder will he do a Champ? Champ done his little suicide dive in this last year, didn't he?
I love that horse.
How can you love him?
Because you just don't know what to expect.
You just can't jump.
It's like
There is an element to that, though. I agree with Dave about that. There's an element of not knowing what to expect. It's a bit like Might Bite in his younger days. It's like, is he going to jump into the champagne tent? Is he going to possibly kill someone? Or is he going to gallop around all right? There is something exciting about that.
It's like going for a few points with you. It's just, you don't know what's going to happen.
I can vouch for that statement.
It's fun though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I love about him.
Where will we end up?
Who
knows?
I have money on him for champ on the Gold Cup, and he could absolutely fall at the first fence, and I'll just laugh about it because I'll still back him the next time. I still love him. Like,
imagine if you're still over hurdles. It'd be an absolute certainty. Like, it's going to end up like Big Bucks. He'll fall. He'll come back next year over hurdles. He will win about 4 stayers in a row.
He's talented. He just can't jump. On
to the next 115, which doesn't look much easier. There's kind of cross entries with this one, but St. Sonic seems to be running this week. Barnes the Fiver, Ibello, Sky Pirate, Sophie, should I say? Gino Trail, Mengley Khan, another Lunigan, is having his first run for Nicky Henderson. First Flow and Magic Saint. Dave, we'll start with you. Looks like First Flow and Magic Saint probably going to run here. There wasn't that much between them at Ascot. Magic Saint won the time before around Cheltenham. What do you think will happen this time?
I like First Flow, but he's another lunatic jumping horse.
He's suicidal. He just throws himself at fences.
I've no strong opinion on it, but if I had to pick one, it'd be First Flow. He will. If you back him, you're going to have your heart in your mouth because he's just mad.
Can anyone see a revival for Mengley Khan?
Stop.
Stop getting it. His last run.
Tom has his hand up.
His last run. I'm going to make a small case and I go on to you, Tom. His last run was a 26-length win over Live, Love, Laugh around Ballinrobe. But Tom, do you think he can revitalise his life, even though it wasn't really that bad, considering his last win?
No, the only thing that worries me about him is 2 miles around here over fences, whether he might make the odd mistake. But do you know what? I actually do give him a chance. I think it'd be a fair price as well. He's gone to obviously a very, very good yard. He's still only 7. The main thing with him for me was his record fresh. I think 5 of his 8 wins have come when fresh. So he can go very, very well first time out. It really interested to see how he gets on. Would I back him? I don't know. He'd have to be a decent price, but
you just made this big case about him and then go, would I back him? And go, probably not.
If you
come on, Tom.
If you can change that brickwork to a fence, you should sit on it.
I'll try that for next week. I'm gonna try and get rid of this black shit.
Every time you're not sure about a horse, don't even say Anne. Just change the back screen.
Just change the back screen to a fence
and move on.
Look, he's one I'd make a case for. I'm keen to stay with Saint Sonnet as well. I think he's a well handicapped horse, and that Paddy Power's just getting thrown out for me, to be honest.
You're going to back all those 3 horses from the Paddy Power, aren't you? You're backing Simply the Bets wherever he goes as well.
He's going to back everything that got pulled up or fell.
I went in again on Simply Bets for the Ryanair 40s.
Oh my God.
Why? Did you not just...
Because Imperial Aura is favourite for it, right? He hammered Imperial Aura, giving him weight, and we're judging him off of 1 run in the Paddy Power when, I don't know. If you judge Mr. Fisher off that, he's shite. So,
did you not see Min jump them 2 fences on Sunday? Like, how good was he?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't knock Min at all. I mean, his jumping was fantastic, according to Patrick Mullins.
Down the back straight, electric down the back.
I love the way you phrased that question. Did you not see Min jump those fences? No, none of us did.
Not one.
We had our review show.
We see Mellon cross the line.
Yeah,
that was the best thing ever. Poor cameraman. He's one job. Oh, wait, here's a horse. Yeah, there's another 2 in front of him.
He's just go 100 yards down there, lad. Yeah, no.
I honestly had no idea what was going on. Oh, yeah.
I'll turn out a flyer and a Min.
And I was like,
that's Mellon.
That's not Min.
You're thinking, like, is Mellon after pissing up?
One thing for sure, though, Dave. Nobody saw Allaho.
Yeah. To be fair, Chris's dream was diabolical.
There's only one race he's going to win. He's going to lap Simply the Bets.
Allaho won't win the Ryanair. He's not good enough.
No, he isn't.
He's not good enough.
Yeah, you're right. He won't win the Ryanair. He'll win the Gold Cup.
How is he not good enough?
How is he not good enough?
He finished, a length behind 2 supposedly the Gold Cup horses. How is that not good enough? Say it to me. Go on, listen.
I don't think Menenda Indo will win the Gold Cup.
Robbie's going to screenshot that. Robbie's recording that.
Fucking hell.
Every
time, like, there's just so many excuses for Allaho. I hate horses with excuses. Same as that Mr. Fisher. He's definitely going to win a big one. Why? Because he's a horse and he has 4 legs. Piss off.
Tell us what you really think, Dave.
This is the PG version. We try to keep it family friendly. No, we don't. We don't try to keep it family friendly. Emmet, your thoughts on it before we go off somewhere else?
Oh, jeez. I saw Mingley Khan in here and Magic Saint towards the top of the weights and went, next, please. Thanks very much. And that was enough for me. I mean, maybe. No, I was gonna say something there, and then common sense just a whirl of common sense came over me.
Say it.
I wouldn't back any of these with counterfeit. So why would I put one up on a respected podcast? I'm not going to do it.
Respected?
No, I like that. If you don't fancy one, ain't no point.
That's fair enough. I don't know the prices, but I'd be strong on saying Sinai coming back from his poor run the last time. I
think he'll run in the other race, though, Andrew.
You think so? Whatever one he runs in, it's just I just can't get out of my head what Harry Durham said to us. I can't even remember it now. It's gone out of my head for once. He more or less said his horse was choked in, and he ran well for a long way at Cheltenham, and he just seemed to blow up like a horse that was needing a run, and then he fell as a tired horse. So I'd be happy to give him another chance if my phone cop on and work. Right, so we move on from this. This is after taking up enough goddamn time. My little book is not working. Right, so we go on to the 150 in the Caspian Caviar Gold Cup. Tom, take us through this. This looks an ultra competitive race, and one that whoever wins this looks to be a decent horse in the making.
Yeah, it does. Master Tommy Tucker's favourite is one that I'm 100% willing to take on. Before he got a fantastic ride last day from Sam Twiston-Davies. He just let him gallop. He got an easy lead in saying that, but he just left the horse alone. Even when he was on a stride, he just sat there. He didn't push him into the fence. And I've said it a few times about him. All his records, all but for his record saying that he's fallen 3 times, he's actually not a bad jumper. He can just launch himself at one. But I don't think he's going to get an easy lead here. And I think a mark of 157 and top weight is enough to hinder him. Windsor Avenue always threatens to win something like this, I think.
He's another Mr. Fisher, and
he let me down so many times last year. I just can't do it anymore.
I think he's a lot of northern hype behind him.
Yeah, he's the
king of the north.
Northern hype. Okay. Sapage is one I put up a few weeks ago when he was a non-runner. He's another one who would have a chance. But look, if Saint Sonnet runs in this, which I think he probably will, he's the one for me. And I think 10, 11 to 1 is fair.
Emmet, who's getting the Dubai money? Who's on the gravy train?
Whichever of the 2 Nichols horses comes out on top, and I wouldn't rule out it being Southfield Stone. Bryony takes the ride. Disappointing the last day. I don't have COVID, by the way, but I thought was quite good prior to that against Cool Cody, and really season would have been written off due to aforementioned COVID before that. But actually, I think that the top weight is going to take the world to beating, and Paul Nichols has got the best record on this as a trainer and has won this with horses carrying lofty weights in the past. The problem with Master Tommy Tucker in the past has always been his landing gear. Like, for so long, he just looked like a big old oaf and a dope. And I don't mind him looking like an oaf and a dope at the weekend, as long as he manages to get around and get the job done. And he's done that the last twice at Huntingdon and at Haydock, where he is absolutely bolted up. He's had Harry Cobden on him at Huntingdon. He's had Sam Twiston-Davies on him at Haydock. Cobden's on him again, and I see he's shortened again today. I think the best price 11-2 now. If you can get 6-1, and I'd be surprised if you can't get bigger than that in the morning on Saturday, I would take it.
13-2 with Paddy Power.
Can you?
Yep.
That's news to me. And that shouldn't be news to me. Jeez, you can. I'd take that. I would take that all day long. And I wouldn't even back him each way. I'd back him for a win bet. I think he's a horrible each way bet, actually. I'd back him to win.
He's either going to win or fall. He's not going to place.
Yeah, if he gets around, he wins. And I think that Nichols has finally, at 9 years of age, managed to get him to learn what to do and what not to do. And I think he'll win. And I think it'll be another glorious occasion for Paul Nichols in the Caspian Caviar Gold Cup.
That was decent. You want a Tommy Tucker train?
No, I'm not.
Who are you on?
There's loads at the top of the market that the lads have touched on that genuinely do have a chance. But it's ultra competitive. And it just reminds me of the Paddy Power, and I'm going to pick something with a lightweight, and he could be dead last, pull up, or he might win. Ibis the Ra.
Oh, Dave, I was about to come back in with him as my second selection.
Running on his first.
That big grey, yucky.
He's not grey.
Blacky grey. He's like a zebra.
No, he's
used to be trained by Nichols.
Yeah, but he's not grey.
He's
one of the random. I don't think he's grey.
Is he not kind of like?
He's not grey.
No, he's brown.
No, he's bay, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's one of the kind of only.
I'm thinking of Sapphire Duro.
Yeah. John Hale's horses, that is a bay. He's had a few, but majority of his horses are grey. He used to be trained by Nichols. He's running his first race for Richard Hodgson, carrying 10 stone 4. He's won 2 races in England, and both of them have been at Cheltenham.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was the Martin Pipe a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I think. If he puts it all together, he'll run well, but he could be terrible. But I want to go against the top of the market. I can see something random winning it.
He's seriously well handicapped, Dave. He's off 135, and he's always been in the 140s for a long time. And as you say, likes Cheltenham, and he was going to be my outsider. Same connections as the forgotten one on Friday. So hopefully it's a good weekend for him.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same mindset of kind of going away from the top. Al Dancer, I just cannot have as favourite whatsoever. I can't take to him, never will take to him. I just think he's just an absolute yak of a yoke who's just bang average. Like,
yeah, I'd be surprised if he's ever going to win a big race. He runs well in races, but
then you have the Northern Hype, Windsor Avenue. I can't have him second favourite at all. Mr. Tommy Tucker, like Tom said he throws himself at fences, and he does. That's my worry around Cheltenham. I think the fence at the top of the hill, the open ditch, I can see him absolutely banking it, landing on top of it, and just Harry Copton going for a lovely little somersault, having a few weeks off for Christmas. I think I wouldn't. It's something horrible is going to happen with that joke. It's a Pat. There's been a. He's an absolute. He's an insurance claim waiting to
having
happen.
A few weeks off before Christmas.
Back for Cheltenham,
miserable weeks off with like broken ribs.
Oh, it's going. It's. Do you know the camera angle where it just changes and you can see him jumping properly the open ditch at the top of the hill. Yeah. I can see that fence absolutely demolishing him.
My only worry is if someone takes him on.
Yeah, that's my
goes upside him, and
he's going to get taken on. Cool Cody's going to go off like the clappers again. There's going to be who else goes off in front?
To be fair, Ibis the Ra likes to race handy as well, so there'll be a few of them up there. I'd say
Benatar, Gary's Mortars, he goes off in the front.
He goes off with the clappers.
Like there's going to be 3 or 4 going at these fences with him, and he's going to lose concentration, and he's either going to take off from outside the wings the fence before to try jump the second fence, and absolutely. Remember that video I put up on Twitter, the one with the horse just literally running through the hurdle, didn't even jump it, head first through the hurdle.
Yeah.
That's what Mr. Tommy Tucker is going to do on Saturday. But getting to it, my selection is Cool Cody. His record around Cheltenham is 2 wins second, and then he was beaten a long way in the Pretemps final at the festival. He's changed yard to Evan Williams, and I think they're after finding a more improvement out of him. His win in the Paddy Power, it's not a fluke. He's a decent horse. He's carrying 10 stone 12, which is not a bad racing weight to have in a handicap. I think he's genuinely a top 3 contender at worst around it at this. His jumping is very good. He's either going to go from the front or track it. I think they'll pull him back a bit and leave the other nutcases get on with it. And I can see him coming down the hill. Adam Wedge taking him out downhill. Off he goes, jumps lap 2 and wins. I just can't have the top 3 in the top 4. Sapage runs well at Cheltenham, and this is Venetia Williams' time of year, and the horses are running very well, and he's a good record around Cheltenham. But the interesting one is Channon Street lad Mick Winters is sending him over. I don't know what to make of him, or he won last time beating Off You Go of Charles Burns, who was another gives his horses educational rights.
I tell you, if that horse wins, God bless whoever's interviewing Mick Winters if he's there.
Oh, how did you go? Very good. So, Mick. All right, lads.
All you hear is Cheltenham.
Alice Plunkett up to Mick. And Mick, this must be a marvelous occasion for you. Actually, and you know yourself, and the whole that and all. There, Cheltenham and I tell you, it'd be some crack.
Guinness.
The nice filly has that one Sunday on Cork, and they were asking about Cheltenham, the Alba Bartlett. I don't like travelling. And then we saw us run to Cheltenham on Saturday. Oh, you couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up,
like you don't have to go. The horse has to go. He's owned by Trevor Hemmings. I'm sure he's going to have a word about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think you're going to have much of a choice in the matter. He kind of reminds me of, and Mick, by the way, is an incredibly generous and kind person.
Oh, he's a legend.
He's an absolute hero, but just in terms of his accent, he reminds me of that character from Father Ted, who hosted was it Eurosong or whatever it was, and be backstage. But then on stage they'll be like, "Welcome back to Eurosong." Oh, brilliant!
I love Mick. That was. I hope the horse wins just so we can see Mick Winters
He's
again.
very funny.
I'm kind of. I would take it. I would be okay with being chinned a short head as long as it's Mick Winters' horse that goes and wins, and Rishi has to go up. Actually, better yet, Ollie Bell's got to go up and say to him afterwards, "Well, Mick,
Ollie, what's going on here?"
Special moment for you at Cheltenham. You're set up there now. And just because poor Ollie and Rishi are 2 of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and as is Alice, by the way. And just their poor faces. If once Macca is yelling at them, go interview the winning trainer. Go do it.
Who?
It would be just mental.
Just wanted to finish. I thought Emmett was going to elaborate then, as he said, like Rishi and Ollie, the nicest people you ever met, and Alice Plunkett as well. But that Ed Chamberlain, a fucking dickhead.
Oh no! But I will say this though. No, Ed is a seriously nice guy. But I will give an exclusive to the finishing line. And you might watch him, and you might think to yourself, "Geez, lovely fella, lovely fella." But I'll burst your bubble.
Kevin Blake.
Matt Chapman, some prick.
Shock.
I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore.
So, remember when Tom used to be all timid and be nice?
I love the way you just say what you feel now. I had a row on Instagram with Ed Chamberlain. And he is a dickhead.
That was about this time, actually.
What? What?
Yeah, but this time last year, he had a full-blown argument with Ed Chamberlain on Instagram. It was brilliant.
Wait, were you
About
drunk,
what?
Dave? Like, were you abusing him or something? Or
No, it was about Bryony Frost.
and what were you saying that you're
She's
using too
shy.
much of her?
No, she's shite and she's terrible.
Okay, well,
And he was backing her up, and then he was saying it was basically he wasn't really backing her up about jockey. He said she's great for
Racing.
And I was like, Rachel Blackmore is a far better jockey. Katie Walsh is a far better jockey. And Bryony gets all the plaudits because she won on Frodon and won a Ryanair. Like, Rachel Blackmore is 10 times a better jockey.
She's able to talk.
But there you go.
so you ended up in an Instagram argument with Ed Chamberlain because Rachel Blackmore is barely over to ride in the UK. Katie Walsh doesn't ride anymore, but Bryony Frost does, so they can actually use her to their advantage.
I literally said Bryony Frost is useless. She is. You will not. You will not change my
useless.
She is useless.
Dave, did he block you on Twitter?
I'm not on Twitter, Tom, but I think he blocked me on
Instagram.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Let's have a Bryony.
Did he block you on Instagram? To be honest with it, I wouldn't blame him. In fairness, like I know
You know
you,
what?
so I'd be all right with it. But
If you put the camera really
if
close
I
to
had
me,
someone,
if you put the camera really close to me, you can see the tears in my eyes. I swear.
Everyone has.
The question is though, Dave, has Matt Chapman blocked you on Twitter or Instagram?
I have no real feelings for Matt Chapman. Whether he's a nice guy or a bad guy, he's a good personality for racing. So I have no real feelings on Matt Chapman, to be honest.
He's painful.
Yeah.
Tom, have you been blocked by him?
No, I don't think I have. Unfortunately, I don't
Andrew?
really interact.
Not yet, anyway.
So the only person in this conversation who's been blocked by Matt Chapman on Twitter is me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even say a bad word about him in public until today. It was just that people were going on, what the hell is happening with the GOAT? This is ridiculous. So he blocked me on Twitter.
Oh, that was one of the worst Cheltenham Festival fever I've ever witnessed in my life.
One thing I actually don't like about him is when especially
he talks down to everyone.
not even about that. It's when he's like
Johnny G.
when he's in the studio for the American racing on a random Friday or Thursday and a horse wins and he goes, boom. I hate that.
That was a very good impression.
I hate it. I'll turn it off.
Well, that's bad, and also there's the yeehaw that he does. You're not from Lone Star, Texas, son.
He's like a cancer you can't get rid of. Just pops up everywhere.
Jesus.
Just can't get rid of him.
There's a few people out there being slated on this podcast tonight.
Matt Chapman could have joined the list.
You better go hide behind your
just
I know. Well, there you go.
Let's get back to Bryony. There's a few things we need to straighten out with Bryony. She's not the best jockey in the world, but she can use her mouth. No,
you are.
Backtrack.
Bad choice of words.
Bad choice of words.
Tom is after falling off the chairs. Bad choice of words.
She's well able to talk. Better words. She's good in front of a cam. That's still bad. She's well able to talk with a microphone in front of her. That's what she has going for. She wouldn't be you would never there's a lot of better jockeys out there that would be ideal for the place she's in with Paul Nicholls. I think
But then given Paul Nicholls' record of sacking jockeys, which is endless, by the way, he's fired so many jockeys, it's beyond funny, including Sam Tristan Davis most recently, that if Bryony wasn't up to the job, she'd have been sacked by now. Yet she hasn't been. Therefore, she is.
Why I think they wouldn't do that. Imagine the backlash if they jocked her off Frodon or something like that.
He doesn't give a monkeys about any backlash. He's Paul Nicholls, OBE. He'll do what he wants.
I have not a single bad thing against the woman whatsoever. I just don't think she's not a top class jockey. Let's put it like that. she wouldn't be in the top 10, in my opinion, whatsoever. I'd have at least 10 jockeys better than her, in my head.
Look, part of the argument I made as well was there's Ireland and England, there's loads of young jockeys that don't get as many chances as what Bryony has. And Bryony has got those chances, in my opinion, because she's good.
Don't say because she's a woman, Dave. Please.
No, she's great on interviews on ITV and so on and so forth. The public then in England like her and like the horses that she's associated, like Frodon, so on and so forth. But I'm like 10 other younger jockeys could do the same thing on Frodon that she does. She is good in one aspect, and that's riding a horse from the front, jumping quick and try and lead and win. That's all she can really do. And Frodon's a perfect example of that.
I'd say if I had a criticism of ITV, it would be that in terms of building up jockeys, they're not very good at it. And it's all about every main flat race is about Frankie. The Frankie factor. It's Frankie Friday.
Surprisingly enough, I don't really like Frankie Dettori either. But it's the exact same thing. The reason is for the exact same reason. It's thrown at you. It's constant. And in my opinion, there's a lot better jockeys than Frankie Dettori. The horses he's sitting on, of course he's going to win on the majority of them. They're unbelievable. They're trained by a genius as well. So,
I just think that happens with so many jockeys, though. Like Sean Flanagan is a prime example. I was working over in England, and Sean was coming in right now, and he came back home to Ireland, and he was going around getting a handful of rides, riding a handful of winners. And then he got the job with Noel Meade, and he proved what he could do. And he didn't just flip a switch or anything. He was always that good. He just got on better horses. So there is a case of, where do you land on your feet somewhere, and then you have to go and take your opportunity. But there are lots and lots of good jockeys out there who just haven't, for whatever reason, got opportunities.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's lots and lots of good footballers who haven't been given opportunities either. There's coaches just to decide that they, and Andrew, you're included in that, obviously.
Well, I might have had too many arguments with managers.
I was going to say you might have had too many kids. That's our problem.
That hasn't stopped most footballers before. But
that's kind of more fun than going training.
Yeah. That's a different podcast altogether, to be honest.
Yeah, very, very, very different podcast. But no, I think that if Bryony wasn't up to it, then Paul Nicholls would have booted her out of the yard years ago. He'd have booted her out of the yard this year. She's clearly very, very talented, but she's probably, if you're realistic about it in terms of where does Bryony Frost and Rachel Blackmore's, where does Bryony Frost and Holly Doyle's ability level rank? Holly Doyle's is miles ahead. Whereas if you're going to go over jumps, where's Bryony Frost and Rachel Blackmore's ability and talent level? Rachel Blackmore is miles ahead. That's not Bryony's fault, and it's not Bryony's fault that a media company is falling over themselves. Not one, but all of them are falling over themselves to give somebody attention. I mean, you'd be an idiot to say no to it. You'd be a complete idiot to say no to it. But if they gave every young jockey who also has a similar level of run the same amount of attention, then it would be a good bit fairer. A good bit fairer, to say the least. Does Harry Cobden even get as much attention as Bryony?
No. See, that's my problem. Can you name another horse or another race that she's won, bar the Ryanair, in top class terms, in the graded races, bar Frodon or Presenting Man in the whatever
Present Man that wins the
The race that we can't.
The Badger Ales.
There's none.
Badger
You cannot see her riding. If a spare ride came up in the morning for one of the top 5 horses in a race, in a championship race, Bryony Frost wouldn't get anywhere near it.
But I think your problem is with ITV, not Bryony Frost, because they're the ones who want to put her in front of the telly.
That's what I'm saying. An ounce wrong with Bryony Frost. She's probably a lovely woman. I've not an ounce wrong with her. I think it's just the media are shoving her down people's throats every week. She could be riding in a selling handicap around Fontwell, and it's Bryony's this, Bryony's that. It's just only a certain amount of people can take.
Harry Cobden was on Dynamite Dollars in the Champion Chase last year. Paul Nicholls' other jockey is Bryony Frost. Harry Skelton was on Politologue.
That was John Hales, though, I think, wasn't it?
Why did John Hales want Harry Skelton?
There's been a few like that, because I remember saying about who will come in for the spare ride on Clan de Sobo and the King George. Bryony will surely come in for the ride. And I got a text about it because surname was deemed to be number 1, and I got a text about it saying you could not be further off the mark.
Yeah, Sam Twiston Davis, I'd say.
I'm not even talking about this year. I'm talking about last Christmas.
Oh,
like last Christmas, I was saying Bryony will probably be the one who'll ride, and I got a text from somebody who's very much in the know, who listens to the show, and I'm a poet and I don't know it, and they said you could not be further wrong there.
Look, she's some people like she's like Marmite. You either like it or hate it.
I think she's a good jockey, and I think what she does for racing is good, and maybe what she does for racing is enough for ITV. Maybe they're happy enough with that, but I don't remember either iterations of the Channel 4 that went before it giving this level of credence to a particular jockey over another. And the other thing is as well is they're kind of in an impossible position in that they're trying to sell their sport, and she's a Cheltenham Festival winning jockey, and she'll win more Cheltenham races. I'm pretty certain of that. I'm pretty certain that she will win more Cheltenham Festival races. But again, the man who holds the power and the man who knows best continues to employ her. And if he didn't think that she was good enough, he would have fired her by now, and he hasn't. And that's Paul Nicholls, who has fired endless jockeys, including Sam Tristan Davis. We've gone off on it for long enough. So
I think do we have another race?
We have another one.
We haven't got the Goshen yet.
Yeah, we haven't got the Goshen yet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We quickly go to 225 and more or less the Albert Bartlett trial. We have
Make Good.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, to Make Good. I'm all Make Good. This is the day. Tom's not backing him. He already said it. He already said it during the week to the lads. He's not backing him. So don't be talking shite now saying you are, because you're not.
Man, now Dickie Johnson's up and everything now. It's all wrote in the stars. Is he going to come and win, Tom?
Richard Johnson's perfect for him as well, because he's lazy. Get kicked in the belly now for the whole time.
That's not nice.
Make Good for me.
Drive it on, Tom.
Fakira is going to take the world of beating, I'd say, in this.
You're back at Make Good, aren't you?
At the fence behind him again. Where is this?
Who are you going for? Make Good?
No, Fakira wins this, lads.
God.
Fakira. Wins this. This thing is an out-and-out stayer. This thing is going to win the Albert Bartlett.
I actually think this is what this thing needs, is a step up and trip.
He's not going to win the Albert Bartlett, by the way.
Emmett thinks we're all wrong.
All of you are wrong. There's a horse that's absolutely tailor-made for this race, and there's a bigger price as well.
Do not say Danny. For the love of God, do not say Danny.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. Bryony Frost is going to ride this horse to victory. Danny Kerwin
For fuck.
continues his revenge. We say revenge fantasy. Yeah, his John Wick style revenge on the world of racing and all those who doubted him, and wins this big race on Saturday. The potato race, as it shall forever be known.
That was so funny because it literally could not have gone more wrong for poor Harry, could it? When he came on your show, he was like, yeah, there's one.
And everybody in Aintree was going up to him and giving him, back in the days when you could give people pats on the back and go, oh, you're some legend. Can't wait for that horse. And then everybody was like, you're some bollocks. Hey, Derham, you better keep fucking running. You fucking bollocks. Poor fella. It just, it didn't quite go to plan. No, I'm pretty confident that Danny Curran will win.
I'm pretty confident Danny Curran will hit the foot of the hill and run up it and start going, what's that?
And I'm assuming that Ashertown Lad costs 17.5 million because he's owned by Darren Yates.
Oh, 100%. It's like Don Polio and on slowly all over again.
Just loves to throw. Careful now. Loves to throw away his money.
He won his point at the fourth attempt as well, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
How much money does this man have to be throwing? 500,000 at horses who are shite. Black Lion, is he dead? I haven't seen him in like 3 years.
Whoever
He's just injured.
For Don Slowly, who wouldn't win a selling race around Tramore now.
He's useless.
I think you tipped last day,
Don
didn't you?
Poley will win next time out now, just for that.
Oh, he won't.
Stop now.
You tipped him for Fox Hunters as well. You should be ashamed.
I did. Yeah, I did.
You two tipped him last time out, didn't you?
I could bring up your tips if you want.
Who was
from the night? Presenting Percy was an absolute stone cold certainty for the Gold Cup. Oh, couldn't be beaten. Couldn't be stopped.
Who was sitting beside you, Emmett?
Kevin Sexton and James from Them Who Shall Not Pay.
I say James spiked. I say James spiked you before we were talking about that race. There's no other.
Yeah. I was sober all night. I remember everything.
Gosh,
that's not good.
All right, Fakira wins this.
Make good for me.
Danny Kerwin seriously wins this.
I still can't believe you're tipping Make Good.
He's 8-1.
Dave did call Make Good the worst horse in training, Emmet, earlier in the year, and he's now tipping him for a grade 2 hurdle.
Hey, people can learn.
Yeah,
people can learn. They can learn from their mistakes.
If he magically turned grey, he might become my favorite horse ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll go with Fakira, and then we can get on to Goshen.
I know we're going to go off on a tangent now. Speaking of Grace, did you hear this absolute tripe that was said on a Racing Post? What a shout.
Yeah.
No, what's this?
I thought it was a brilliant way to boost their affiliate link.
Basically, grey horses jump better than other horses. Was the basically
yeah, that was it.
because of Pilitlogue jumping so well, and grey horses have like a
grey horses are much better.
Graham Rodway just said, I didn't do it well enough last time. I'm just going to outdo myself again, and said that grey horses jump better. Then backed it up with, I don't have any facts. I'm not a person that needs to have all these facts to prove this. It's just a hunch I have.
And guess who was on the show? John Hales.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. Talking about trying to take bloody shelter off someone's hole while they're on the show.
Ah, well.
You just can't look at the tips and take them seriously, though, can you?
Like, is he related to Michael Gove by any chance? We've had enough of experts.
Well, like when someone comes out and says it's not hard training horses, then comes out and says, oh, grey horses jump better than any other horse. Someone, please give him a grey horse and leave him train the goddamn thing. I would pay to see this happen.
Tom, sort it out.
Tom, sort it out. Get something.
Yeah, sort it out, Tom.
Jesus, why have I got to sort it out?
You know a lot of horsey people.
You're the horseman.
You're a gangster. You know everyone.
Thanks.
See, he's not denying it either.
Get JP to send him a few grey horses there. And a plot of land.
All right.
He'll do it for the crack. Right, moving on to the last race. And the international hurdle where we might finally see Goshen and not become Goshen anymore, and we just see Goshen.
Not Goshen.
Goshen, yeah. We've nicknamed Goshen if you're wondering why we pronounced it wrong, Emmett. Well, Dave has.
Yep.
We have Song for Someone Who Hasn't Hope, Sue Royale, Chisabello, who is the most overbacked horse in living memory. Silver Streak. Legend got taken out the last day.
Yeah, I was a bit harsh on him.
Call Me Lord, Somerville Boy, Not a Hope, Fadarna Blue should be retired, and Stormy Ireland, no. So, Dave, go Goshen, whatever you want to call him these days.
This is probably the 4th time I've said this, but we'll say it again. And if he gets taken out, then I'm just done with this shit anymore. But there's a few kind of, they're not champion hurdles, they're never going to win champion hurdles.
They're not even great. They're barely grade 3 standard against them.
Grade 2, grade 3 kind of horse in this. He needs to win it significantly by a number of lengths and win it well and jump well. And then if he does, he has a chance. But if he scrapes home, he hasn't a chance in the champion hurdle.
Well,
I believe in him. I believe in him. He's going to do it.
There needs to be something to come out now and actually make the champion hurdle interesting.
I'm all in on a court made and Goshen double.
You love your doubles.
Yep.
Emmett, what do we make? Do you think Goshen, he's surely going to absolutely whoop a lot of these if he turns up?
You slightly broke up there. Was it that I surely have to be with Goshen, or I surely have to think that Goshen gets it right this time around? Was that it?
Either or.
Okay. Gary Moore wanted to run. He was banging on about running Goshen on the flat on Champions Day. And then he couldn't wait to run him at Goodwood. Sorry, he couldn't wait to run him at Haydock. Prior to that, he was then saying that he'd correct that mistake on his next start at Goodwood. And there may not be a champion hurdle horse in this race. In fact, there almost certainly isn't a champion hurdle horse in this race. And I'm okay with that, because I don't feel that the champion hurdle market needs to be lit up right now. It's already been lit up by Epatone. And something might come along later in the season to threaten her crown. But right now, no.
You don't think Goshen has a hope in the champion hurdle?
No, he's got no chance. And he's not going to win this race either. And if he does, fair play, but he's no bet at 9-4, which I believe is the best price that you can get about him. And there's a few bookmakers who are trying to really take the piss. For Dana Blue, I wouldn't completely dismiss from reverse forecast bets only. And that's in a reverse forecast bet with a horse that was described as an absolute no-hoper in this race, and that's Song for Someone, who is the nap of the day. The absolute nap of the day.
You're going to lose money.
You're going to lose a lot of money.
Well,
he won an absolute Mickey Mouse race around Ascot.
Mickey Mouse won 2 then, has he?
I'm fairly sure Lorena is dead, to be honest.
Lorena's done that, but Lorena did trail in Stone last, and is off to the sales. Call Me Lord's not the worst horse in the world. His form last season wasn't bad at all, and it wasn't at all bad, to be fair. Song for Someone's, and yeah, I think that this is not going to take a huge amount of winning. They got him fit on the all-weather at Kempton. He'd beaten Colonel Mustard by 12 lengths back at Fontwell, that champion of champions track. But Call Me Lord is a decent enough yardstick, and Song for Someone will beat Verdana Blue in a straight forecast with, if we can we get away with doing a tricast here? No, we can't. maybe combination forecast and Belly Andy, but Song for Someone would be my nap of the day.
I think
in the 3 o'clock.
I
In
think
what should be known as the Beulah hurdle and not the bloody international hurdle, which only came about because Boyle Sports insisted that we're not sponsoring this unless we get to call it the international hurdle. And then they pulled their sponsorship 2 years later. So that's what sponsors will get you.
Won't mind the sponsor. But yeah, I genuinely think Goshen.
Got another wall to put the sponsors on, Andrew.
This is the sponsor wall. We're just waiting for the logo. I think Goshen beats these and beats them handy. Like his form he was going to bolt up in the triumph. His form of that triumph is working out unbelievably well. Aspire Tower has come out and already won an open company, a graded race, beating Abracadabras and Jason the Milivant. All Mankind has gone over fences and had to win a grade 1 novice chase around.
Interesting to see what Burning Victory does.
Around Sandown. Goshen was going to absolutely batter the lot of them. I couldn't care less what he done on the flat. There's a lot of horses just hate the flat. Obviously he won a few on the flat last season, but Tom.
Why was Gary Moore banging on so much about how excited he was then about running him?
I don't know. The thing I always say in this show, I do not give a shit about trainers say. I would never listen to a word they say because they're the biggest bullshitters in God's green earth.
I just know
it's good advice.
I just know Goshen's going to win because I know Tom is backing.
Like,
I can tell.
Tom, a few weeks ago, we were talking about Goshen, and he was going through his flat form, and he's saying like his flat form is dirt. There's nothing good about it. And then he sees a hurdle and he grows an extra 2 legs.
Song for Someone was in that race, and Tom was all in on Goshen, I think, at 7-4. I know Tom is backing Goshen at 9-4.
And this time, Tom, you're getting 9-4.
Am I right, Tom?
Yeah, 9-4 is as short as he wants to be.
Goshen choo-choo train. Come on, the Goshen.
And look, those of you who watch this will know I'm far from Goshen's biggest fan. But as I said, it was kind of only a bit of crack, really, that I went through his flat form the day before he ran at Haydock. And his flat form from last year is dirt, like terrible.
It's dire.
And his last run on the flat when he was third at Goodwood was his best flat run in my book anyway. And I actually think that Gary Moore's gone to run him twice or whatever. For whatever reason, he hasn't run. I actually really think that's a blessing in disguise. And I reckon come later on in the season, that's actually really going to pay to Goshen's strengths. Because he had 2 quick runs. He ran on the 26th of September and again on the 11th of October. And then they wanted to run pretty quick after that. He's now had 62 days between those 2 pretty quick flat runs to his hurdling season reappearance. So I think that'll benefit him. And to be honest, I do like Chittabello's second favorite, guys. Song for Someone's not bad, but he's not a champion hurdle horse.
Doesn't have to be.
I know he doesn't have to be. And if you wanted to back one each way, he's 11-2 in 1 or 2 places. He's probably the each way bet. 9-4 Goshen. I'm not rushing in to back him at that in this, but I do think he's the most likely winner.
Yes, Tom.
Yes, Tom.
Well done. That's why you get paid.
Do I?
No.
Thanks. I'll send in the invoice.
I think everything is stacking up from the finally come out and go. Everyone go, oh Jesus Christ above! Look at this joke.
He's back.
It's his form from last season. It's all working now. Will we see him? Won't we see him? We'll finally see him, and he'll put everything to bed. He'll jump the last 6 lengths clear and absolutely bolt up.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
And
just remember, it's 2020, lads. So what's really going to happen is he's going to jump the last 6 lengths clear, and everyone will think, oh, he's about to do what he was going to do in the triumph, and then he's just going to sink like a stone right back through the field, and Song for Someone of Verdana Blue will come along.
Verdana Blue, she'd be getting pulled up at the top of the hill, getting the saddle taken off her to the breeding sheds.
Yeah, I think I think Michael Tabor's looking for his receipt. I think he's looking for his receipt now at this stage. That purchase has not worked out.
I can just see it.
Yeah. It's going to be Goshen v Epitont.
I like both of them.
Jeez.
Goshen is the man.
Yes. Right. Before we go, we'll get our naps and next best for the weekend. We'll start with Emmet, guest of the night. Naps and next best.
Thank you. Miss Master Tommy Tucker in the feature and Song for Someone next best.
Tom.
I've got them ready to go today, guys.
Yes, Tom.
My nap is the Forgotten One in the cross country, and my next best is Court Made.
David.
Nap, Court Made, next best, Goshen.
My nap is Fakira. My next best is Court Made, and I'd have a little each way on some neck in the cross country. That's me. So we will finish up on this. Emmet, appreciate your time and thanks very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me, lads. Another great show as always, and keep on trucking. Keep doing the good work.
We'll try. We might catch you someday.
Yeah, as long as you don't bring a whole other lockdown to the island of Ireland, then we'll be fine. But best of luck though at the weekend. I am cheering you on genuinely.
It's going to be crazy, I'm telling you.
We can't promise that, but we'll try.
Even if they lose, it's going to be crazy.
That's true. We had to drown our sorrows somehow.
Yeah, sure, you got to know the final. At least that's something.
Our review show on Sunday is going to be interesting. Our live review show at 8 p.m. on Sunday evening.
Wow.
That's going to be interesting.
That's not going to happen. That show is not going to happen.
I'm going to be sitting down here dressed like something out Braveheart, like William Wallace, big white and blue face on me and everything. Killed everything to go with it.
The best way to describe the madness that will ensue on Sunday.
Hurley in this hand.
I have PT clients that are coming on Tuesday next week. Have already said I probably won't be here Tuesday. The match is on Sunday. So
this is how we roll.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's fair enough. So that's fair enough. So, people are just like, nah, I know what's happening here. This train ain't gonna roll.
And if all else fails, fuck it. It's Christmas.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But anyway, thanks again for everyone who tuned in. Give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below with your best bet of the weekend. And Emmet, again, thanks very much for joining us. And
Cheerio,
we will see
folks.
you. We might see you on Sunday for our live review show.
Maybe.
So
That's
until then,
happen.
we'll talk to you later. Thanks again.